We've set a precedent where we started talking over this image. Should we keep that going? Should we talk about random things? Has anyone watched Lanterns yet?
I have.
Okay. We should start the show.
Previously on X-Men.
If you're here for Lanterns content, go over to the Toy Daddies. But stay here first, then go over to the Toy Daddies. But anyway, welcome. Welcome back to another episode of Previously on X-Men 97, where tonight we are going to wrap up Season 2. We're going to talk about Season 2 as a whole, and then we will move on from there as to, again, whether we do, we go back and watch the old shows, or maybe talk about a new show, or who knows, maybe we go and join the Lantern Corps over on TPC. We'll see where that happens, but always a good time here. And if we do anything like we did last week, buckle up, kids, get a drink, because we're going to be here a while. So, but Machu, Brandon, how are you guys? How are you guys tonight?
I'm good.
Yeah, doing very well.
Yeah.
Excited to be back again.
Yeah. Well, we have a few friends who might jump in and join us. As always, kind of an open forum. But yeah, so Season 2, totally wrapped up. Definition of started strong and fizzled out, I think, is the best way to look at this season.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish Cheney was here, because I do feel like there were some high highs for Cheney, as well as some low lows. But I do remember specifically where Cheney was talking about one episode where he was like, I felt like a kid again. I was watching the old show. And
oh, that was the Nightcrawler one.
Yeah, the Nightcrawler episode. Yeah. So, obviously, we talked about it before. The season definitely had a pacing problem, where they were trying to cram in too many storylines. Not enough of certain characters, too much of other characters. Maybe an abuse of a teacher line took away its specialness. But overall, how do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about where we ended up?
To me, after the season finale, it was just like, what the hell did we just watch? Like, why? Why are we even here?
Yeah.
Why are you even here today? No. It definitely had some problems, pacing wise, and in the way it was planned out, because you could tell that episodes were shuffled around.
Yeah.
And why were certain characters given, more time to shine than others when there was no real big payoff for them? I mean, Nightcrawler had his time to shine, but there was a payoff there, right?
Yep.
But for others, it was just like not really much going on after.
Yeah.
And the final battle was not that.
No,
it was very anti. It wasn't even a battle.
Yeah. I think was Brandon? Was it you who said it was like 46 seconds?
Yep, I timed it. It was I mean, you could argue between 30 seconds and 40 seconds of the X-Men, X-Factor, and X-Force fighting Apocalypse.
Sure.
Before things stopped again and Rogue came out. Like, that's literally what we built up a whole season to.
Now, to be fair, 30 seconds is a lot of time. People change their lives in 30 seconds.
It's true.
Children could be made in 30 seconds. So, it's not anything to be ashamed of. Might be headed into a different category here. But anyway, yes. Yeah, a lot of build up for that amount of time. Not necessarily worth it. But I mean, trying to think about this season as a whole, I think, Machi, you said it, right? There's a lot of build up for characters that didn't get payoff. I do think, again, our boy Nightcrawler got his due, got his payoff. But I think you even talked about it last episode, where it was like, but why? Why did he have to go? Why did he have to leave us? And if the other piece of this is he truly gone? Right? We talked a little bit about this during the last episode with Gambit, and bringing him back, did it really do anything? He went out in such a way that it made him special. Was it worth bringing him back for this? So,
and making him like a permanent member of the main team.
Yeah.
Just to build up to this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but But yeah, I think, the more I was thinking about it today, I was trying to like kind of give myself a recap, and the first 3 episodes, again, so strong, so good. And then I would say there were some really good moments throughout the rest of the season. As much as I wasn't a fan of like the Wolverine centered episode where he gets his claws back, there were some really cool elements to that, right? I think I liked the arc or the storyline, the underlying story for Morph in there. Right. But again, there was no payoff for that, right?
Exactly.
You had
if we saw more of that in the final episode, I would have felt better about that perspective. Yeah. It just it felt like it was just a dangling thread that they're just like, all right, we're gonna move on from that. It felt too Saturday morning cartoon. Like it didn't impact anything. It didn't really change anything,
Yeah. Oh. All right.
I had a defense of the season. I mean, it could be it is a season, sort of a show in transition, from maybe the style of writing from the first season to maybe what we're going to see more going forward. That, like, in a vacuum is not a bad thing. Like this, because when I sort of looked back at it today, I'm looking at individual episodes. I remember them more self-contained than I remember the actual overarching stuff. Like, there's the Wolverine episode, there's the Danger episode, there's the Colossus Exodus Nightcrawler episode. Like, in that way, it sort of feels more like the 92 show.
Yeah, I see that.
Again, I think if we didn't have season 1 the way it was, I don't think any of us would have had as big of a problem with the way season 2 ended up as we did.
No, and I definitely want to talk more about that, but I don't want to leave our guest backstage hanging. So, Dave, what's going on, man? How are you?
Did somebody say dangling thread?
Yes, yes, we did. We did indeed.
Is that how we summon you?
Yes.
I'm like a shitty version of Beetlejuice.
You only have to say it once, too.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what?
Yeah. What's up, Video Pirate Gaming? We got a couple people in the chat here, too. We got Yanni. What's going on, Yanni? Nice to see you, man. And we got BTB.
What up,
yeah, close it up.
Between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Deep blue sea, yes. Yeah.
Yep. And he's probably the best diorama maker that I'm aware of.
He's definitely got a cartoon style down. And what's going on?
Turtle buildings over there.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so I want to, Brandon, I want to pull in the thread that you actually brought up a little bit too, and then Dave will jump in as needed. But you mentioned like there are parts, and for me, it's like I can't even remember, and I didn't want to go back and like watch the whole thing again because I wanted to just like rely on what I had.
Quitter.
I can't even remember certain episodes. I don't even remember the Danger episode, right? Like I was like, oh yeah, the Danger episode. That's right, right? But first 3 episodes super strong. Parts of the Wolverine episode we like. The Colossus element, the Nightcrawler arc. But again, I don't remember the whole episode. Like, I just remember those parts that stand out. So I think you're right, where it was like there were so many elements in this. And again, it being a show in transition, I think is a great way to sum it up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like, but are we as a whole mourning a show we didn't get? Or are we actually just looking at what's in front of us? I think that is something too that we're wrestling with a little bit, where it's like, if we didn't know what we didn't know, like, would it have been better for us?
I feel like there's one thing to be said of, like, because we knew that it was something that was actively being changed to modify into something else, you already have the thing of, well, what didn't we get?
Right.
But, like, I mean, like the show title is previously on X-Men. Like, it's that thing of, for me, that was part of what I always loved about the old show, is because you could have these like really, really serious arcs, and then they'd be like, remember when Cyclops and his brother got thrown out of a plane? You're gonna meet their dad in a few episodes.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah.
It was that thing of it. There was always those kind of weird one-offs where it was a little jarring, but when you have a week between episodes and you're looking so forward, you don't give a crap if it's, Dark Phoenix Saga Part 78. You're just like, you hear that opening riff and you're just like, yeah, it's cool.
Yep, we do it.
Like, there's that certain bit that draws you in, and I don't know if it's because, like, I did the thing of, like I did with the season 1. You have to wait for the next episode. I waited. I know they dropped, I think it was 3 episodes at first, 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh wow! Even with those ones, you spaced them out.
Yeah, because
really?
I was like, no. Like this is one of the very few things. Yeah, this is one of the very few things that I love watching episodic television. Have like as it was originally intended, where you have that moment where you have to go, oh shit, I can't watch. Like it's not gonna be on for another week.
Yeah, I'm in favor of this model too. Honestly,
Yes,
Yeah.
I am too.
It's really fun. It makes you think, and honestly, it made me appreciate, and actually made me rewatch a lot of the episodes.
Yes.
Going, wait, is that what happened? Is that like? I mean, granted, yeah, there was a few where I'm like, I remember again. Okay, I apologize. I'm a Maverick apologist.
Oh, I am too. I'm right there with you.
I watched that damn episode like 4 times. Like he could have survived. He could have survived. He didn't.
Wish that was the case.
Wolverine gutted him like a fish. That being said, again, like I was going back and rewatching every episode, like once or twice, because like I'm down here working on pages and stuff all day. So it's the thing of like I can always have something up in the background, and again, also a very good example of a program that, while visually stunning, tells a very good story audibly as well, which I think is a testament to the crew behind it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of biff bam pow, but there's still a narrative, an overarching narrative that's happening. Like, you still have, Storm calling her shots and being like, I'm gonna fucking throw you in a tornado. Wah!
What happens to a toad when it gets hit by lightning?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's that thing of it feels like a comic, and it feels like it is. When they keep on saying, "Oh, it's a love letter to the original series," I'm like, I get that.
Yeah. Dude, I can, if you look at it from that aspect, right, that it's a love letter, I completely see that, right, and I completely also see that it is like it's a bit of fan service, right? We're trying to appease to the fans, but still, we still want a good show, right? We still want a good story. I do wrestle with, and I think that's what I kind of love about doing this with you guys. I didn't read the comics growing up, right? My introduction to X-Men was this show. That's how I fell in love with them. That's how I know them. I probably didn't pick up comics until, Avengers vs. X-Men, Age of Apocalypse. Like, that's probably when I got into comics. So I always do wrestle with, though, like, some of these episodes that, like, we would go hard on, being like, this is terrible, this is not what they did, and this is that. But I didn't know that. So, like, do we kind of hate on them because they didn't follow the law of the letter, or the letter of the law? But at the same time, if you don't know what you don't know, do you actually enjoy the show a little bit more?
Well, the other thing is like season 1, I think it was more geared towards how we watch episodic TV now, right? You can actually binge watch season 1.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll sit there for however long it is and actually just there is an overarching story. But in season 2, it is more of like how it used to be, where there would be filler episodes in between. So you really can't. I don't think you can really binge watch that throughout the whole season. And this is also a shorter season too.
Yes.
And the other thing is, when we used to watch the old show, even if we did read the comics or not, it doesn't like a lot of it didn't. Yeah, it's very different because like you could see like you'll watch that episode with Scott and his brother and people won't know that's his brother, right? Yep. Unless you really know the lore. But like as a kid, you're not going to know it.
Well, but I think that was kind of the beauty of the show, though, is it was. I mean, talking about a product of the '90s, it was X-Men for Dummies. It was that thing of no matter what was happening, it always introduced you to the characters. It always would introduce you to their history, whether it be a very like, hey, you're going to get a full episode of a backdrop, or you're going to get like 6 minutes, like 5-6 minutes, and then that's good for the next season.
Yeah, or a little flashback even.
Right.
Yeah.
This is Juggernaut. He's my brother. We hate each other. Cool. Okay, cool. That's all I need. Yeah.
This is Wolverine. He really likes that trampoline game that they play up in Alaska. I still to this day, the thing that he does when he gets thrown up the first time, I'm like, it's sheer joy and terror.
Yeah.
Like, well done.
Parachute. Yeah.
But I mean, I think that was the beauty of the series, and actually, like a lot of people were like, "Oh, I can't believe they buzzed through this whole story in this one episode, and this whole story in this one episode," and I kind of went, "That was kind of their not ultimatum, but the fact that they were getting it in when they could,
Right.
like always was like, oh, like I was always just like, oh, that's really cool that they were able to get that in.
Yeah.
Like because there's they covered a lot of ground in a very short amount of time this season.
Yeah.
I'm still disappointed Gambit never said the tithe. But
There's a lot
go
that
back and
Gambit
watch
didn't
that
say.
original episode. It's horrible.
Yeah, no, I did. There's a
I
lot that I was expecting for him to say, but he didn't.
was like, just once, just anybody, like even Morph, if he just like went bloop and like became one of the thieves, and was like the tithe, and just
The
like
tithe.
he just walks off screen, like just like
Yeah.
I mean, the one sort of like thread that they didn't do enough with that felt like, why did we put this in there, was the Brood to me, because that feels like something that could have been. I'm not going to say it could have been a whole season or something, but that could have been a 2 or 3 episode arc at some point.
I'm
And it was
they'll
just
come
like
back.
sandwiched into an episode that was about Wolverine getting his adamantium back. Like that's the one that I can think of off the top of my head. That's just like that, and Omega Red being in that episode. Period. It was just like, why is he even there? He doesn't even do anything. He wasn't successful in anything. He shouldn't have even been there because we saw him at the end of the first season with the Winter Guard.
Yep.
So like he should, like it threw off continuity, and it was just like, what was the purpose of that other than to make people say, oh my god, Omega Red's here? Like it would have been cooler to see him in the Winter Guard at some point fighting X Factor or whoever else, you know.
I'm curious if that's something for like that they'll come back to, like they'll have the Brood, you know. It's like I felt like that was very much a hey, we're gonna play with this later.
There's more. I hope so. I hope that's the case.
And honestly, Dave, that's how I took it, right? Where it was like, we introduced them here, you got a little bit of a backstory, it fit in with something else, you know, and then we'll come back to them. I don't feel like it was a, you know, oh yeah, look at these things. Yeah, and you're never gonna see them again. It felt like, you know, to your point, like we squeezed them in where we could, we gave a little bit of information. Oh, here's the hive mind conversation, and that fits with this, and all that other stuff. Like,
Sorry, go ahead.
That's why I was saying, like, I think that's one of those episodes that was shuffled around. That should have been a later episode. That should have been like episode 8, right? And you get your little snippets of Wolverine still like processing him just with the metal claws.
Yeah,
and then that's his reason for going to get the adamantium.
I'm kind of curious because of like where it started with all of like the Ascani son and everything, you know, or rather Mother Ascani and everything that was going on there. Like, I don't know if y'all read that book back in the day, but that book took forever to get anything done.
I've tried to read that multiple times. It's bad. It's just not good. And that's why, like, when they left off season 1 there, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Even if Bo stayed on, like, I'm a big fan of his writing. Maybe not him as a person, but his writing. I was like, oh, that's not where I want to be starting next season, though.
It was the weird, like, overpromise, underdeliver type thing, because I like, at the end of season 1, there was part of me that felt like the end of Wolverine in the X-Men series 1, where I was just like, oh, are we actually are they gonna dive into this? And then they had 2 episodes with it, and it's like, cool, like you never even revealed who Mother Ascani was. Like, you know, like there's a lot of that stuff that I'm curious how much they'll circle back and reconnect with, because
they might not even circle.
Yeah, they might not. It just there was a lot of things like that, again, like we talked about before, where we don't know what there was going to be. We now know what is, but you know, it's also that thing of, okay, are we going to get what the original kind of back half of the season was going to be in a later season? Is this gonna, you know, it's stuff that, because it was already being worked on. You know what I mean? So it's like it exists, and Disney ain't going to waste that. I feel like.
I think they even recorded lines for some of that stuff.
Oh,
the original season 3, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
What's up, Tio?
What up, Tio?
Oh, I would venture to say that I don't think that we will. I don't think that we will see. I feel like, as we talked about it, right? Like the show in transition, I feel like this was okay, we you know, this has already been made. We've already spent the money on this. We've got to use this. New show, I'm going to take this in my direction. Like I
then
feel
clear
like
the deck by the end of season 2, pretty much.
Pun intended. Yeah.
They didn't even tie up the loose end of, was that the future apocalypse that came back to the 1990s, or does he come back later on in another season? I'm like, oh, I'm late.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
Well, I think to that point though, right? You've written yourself an exit. If you need to, right? Like, oh, we don't know which apocalypse that is, so if we want to bring Apocalypse in season 6 because we know it's renewed through then.
And the funny thing is, isn't this third Apocalypse? Because there's Young Apocalypse,
Mhm.
there's Future Apocalypse, there's Apocalypse we've already met in this series. You know what I mean? Like time travel. But, it's that
branched.
thing of it almost is the same problem that they had with Kang in what I think would have been the multiverse, or like the MCU, but I think it was also the big problem with Kang when they were like, did you know that he's related to Reed Richards? No, he's not.
Well, Kang was in here too.
Did you know that he was a pharaoh? No, he wasn't a pharaoh. Is he a pharaoh? It was the thing of like, stop it. Just
make up your mind. Yeah.
Damn it, Mark Waid.
Yeah. Stop picking up new hobbies.
I think that's also one of those things of, you also saw it kind of with the with X-Force X-Force. Like, you saw that dynamic flip real hard, real quick, and I feel like that would have been a much more subtle turn had we gotten kind of the original side of things. But because them, spoiler alert, them straight offing one of the Horsemen was just like, oh damn, Bowl Cut went down.
Yeah,
that was like one of the OG Horsemen.
Yeah, the leak questions it, but like, I guess that's for that's for us to interpret, right? Like, we are Jubilee in that instance, where like, whoa, you guys are actually doing this.
Yeah. And I think that was it was kind of their way of being like, hey, this ain't your kids show from 92 type of thing. Tio says Council of Apocalypse. Yeah, okay, I can go with that.
The other thing I wanted to bring up was that question I had in the chat where, if in season 1 that Cable comes back and his future is the one that's supposed to be the one that's from what's his name?
Future.
Bastion.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So Bastion's future is actually a utopia, but it's on the backbones of mutants. So mutants are slaves, but everything is still. It's not like not everything is destroyed. It's actually good for humans, but sucks for mutants, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now there's no he's not destined to fight Apocalypse then in that version of Cable's future. So that's what I was wondering. Like, how come all of a sudden now it's his destiny to fight Apocalypse if his future was a utopia?
Well, because his future became what? Oh man.
Well, yeah, his future would have been rewritten, right?
But in the past, with the Ascani Sun arc, they were building that up. So it's the thing of that past didn't equal the future that we had in the last season, but that past generated the future that they were going to in this season, and I've gone cross-eyed.
That's pretty well said, though, honestly.
No, but like,
I can't wrap the time travel stuff. I am of no help.
But like,
I feel like they were trying to crisscross everything, because also somewhere Bishop's future is in there too.
Right. So Bishop is the one who originally goes through that future with Apocalypse.
But that's what I'm saying is that's.
But this version of Cable
out of me, because it's like, wait, you did it too many times.
Yeah, but this version of Cable has a different future from what Bishop, because he's the one. Because Cable in season 1 is the one who tells the story about Bastion and how he takes over the world.
Yeah.
So one thing about Cable, though, is that it's not like there's a second Cable. Like, him as a baby, he got sent into the future. So it's not like there's a parallel Cable during all that either. So him traveling back is kind of like the future still. Like, it's hard to wrap my head around, but I feel like he's a little bit different than some of the other people. Like, we don't know that there's a Bishop in this universe because he comes from a different universe. I guess we don't know what happened with him.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have been the only person who was thinking this, but I'm like, come on, X-Man, let's get Nathan Summers here.
Yeah.
That sweet blue and yellow jumpsuit.
Only if it comes with the Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah, we gotta have
the only way I would have been interested.
Right. Oh, we got Hendel says the Rick Remender. X-Force.
Yeah.
Rick Remender X-Force Horseman early in season 2 was a cool Easter egg. Agreed. Because the flashback comic wasn't released between the two shows. I didn't realize there was supposed to be a comic that got released. Is that or was
I
that
don't know.
half a thought?
I don't know. I don't know if
Yeah.
he's being sarcastic about that.
Oh. Sorry. Drink every time Machi says future. Oops, I'm drunk. Oh. Yeah, time travel's a bitch, man. Especially trying to keep up with it. But I do appreciate that they didn't try to like squeeze in branch timeline information here. I will say that.
That would have been too much. We're all multiversed out right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say if someone from the TVA would have shown up in this show, I'd have been like, "Oh fuck, like I'm done." Like, goodbye. It was a good run.
I want to bring this up, and it's X-Men '97, maybe not cartoon directly related. Want to get your thoughts on this? Obviously, Doomsday coming. Heavy rumor that the X-Men in Doomsday are the X-Men '97, or is the X-Men '97 universe, and that one of the reasons why we're going to see them in Doomsday is to wipe the slate completely clean of the cartoon show, making way for potentially a new cartoon show. Thoughts on that rumor?
I don't see them doing that because there's too much money in the show already.
Well, technically, the show could continue running because that takes place in 2026, and this is 1997. So,
but none of the actors portray the X-Men proper. Like you know what I mean? Like because
they're talking about because of the coloring of the uniforms.
You know, they have the colored costumes. I actually, I don't want. I've heard many things, and I don't know. Rumor and speculation station. I just kind of go like, I'm like.
Well, I'm just curious. Yeah,
there's so much out there. I mean, I could understand them being like, hey, these are X-Men that have that past, but might not be like the '97 X-Men. Like, because technically, you could just say they're the X-Men that were connected with Wolverine, with the Hugh Jackman Wolverine from Wolverine Deadpool, because they are all in their bright costumes,
right?
And it's it's one last ride or die moment, because again, it's all speculation.
Yeah. I thought that was an earlier speculation about that, and then they switched it off to that's going to be the Fox. That's just going to be the Fox, the old Fox X-Men.
So
They're gonna.
I heard it early, but I keep hearing it kind of circulating back because, and they keep mentioning it because of the costumes and because I guess of Patrick Stewart, Charles Xavier's wheelchair. Right, so it's not the same one as the one from Multiverse of Madness. It's closer to the cartoon. Is there some kind of more of a connection to it, and that the Fox one has already been wiped out to some degree? Yep. So, again, I've got no stock in it. I'm just curious what you guys thought.
The costumes actually more closely relate to those that, for some of them, more closely relate to the Wolverine and the X-Men
Interesting
universe. Okay. If you look at Professor X's chair, if you look at his outfit that he wears, that the Hot Toys figure is coming in. If you look at the Magneto, if you like, even Cyclops has more of his astonishing X-Men costume, but Wolverine's in more of his astonishing-esque looking outfit. There's a lot of that, but again, I feel like it's
you're talking about the show, right? Wolverine and the X-Men. You're talking about the other cartoon, Wolverine and the X-Men. Right?
Yeah, well, so Wolverine and the X-Men was the one that actually was art directed by Steve Gordon, who did X-Men Evolution. Mm-hmm. He was the lead behind that. That was the one that took over where Professor X has disappeared. He's actually been trapped in the future, and Wolverine has to re-band.
That was a good show.
It was a great show. Yeah. That got murdered way before it should have.
I think the problems that those two shows had was that they didn't have a banger theme song.
Oh, well,
because it's not those two shows don't have a memorable theme song at all.
Not even a little bit. Yeah. Just going back to the Fox universe for a second, I feel like it can't be the Fox universe because James Marsden Cyclops was dead in that one.
That's true.
So I feel like it's going to be, they're either going to do some like Phoenix shenanigans with him but then Jean's not in it. So that seems unlikely. But so I feel like it's going to be sort of what?
He came back in Days of Future Past.
Cyclops?
Yeah, when they fixed
the
future. Yeah,
at the end of Days of Future Past.
Oh, that's right.
They're all back together.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. All right. I forgot about that. I forgot about the ending of that. Because then there's also, I was going to say, I still feel this way, even with that information. I feel like it's going to be sort of like a parallel, like, hey, this is pretty similar to the one you guys remember, like almost like Xavier from Multiverse of Madness. It wasn't the Fox Professor X, even though he looked a lot like him. It was not the same one. So it kind of feels like it's going to be something that was running parallel. Maybe there was some change that branched off.
Right.
Maybe Jean didn't come back as the Phoenix or something. Who knows? You know, what might have changed that. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
I like to see that Cyclops costume. It doesn't fully do it for me because it's not. There's not enough yellow on it for me.
I do feel
they're
like
trying, and I appreciate that.
It's giving James his due, right? Like that's how I feel like. Based on the Deadpool movie, they are destroying the Fox universe in Toby's universe. Yes, I heard a lot about that too, especially with Tobey Maguire potentially being the main bad guy for the first few minutes of the film. So
Yeah,
that's
really
a heavy
curious
rumor.
to see.
Yeah, a really heavy rumor floating around there too. Okay. Favorite thing about this season?
The single moment. It's not even my favorite episode. The single moment was Xavier and Apocalypse in episode 4. Like that was one of the strongest moments of either season, honestly. Just how striking it was, and how like at that moment it was like this season could go anywhere. And I'm disappointed in where it ultimately went, but it's still just such a good scene. Like it's quiet. It's like they weren't heavy-handed with it. It was perfect. From the animation to the voice acting to the writing, everything was just perfect. That like 2-3 minute scene, whatever it is, was just unbelievable.
Dave,
I feel weird saying this, but the Jubilee scene where she's just whooping ass.
Good thing Shane's not here.
Yeah,
and it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
She's a sparkler. But it was the thing of like, I love Generation X. That was one of my favorite books growing up. So like seeing that Jubilee come out and like make her I don't want to say credible, but like a credible fighter was just neat. Like that was really fun. I mean, there's a lot of amazing moments, but like the animation, the action, like that actual like realization of like, God dang, like, all right, get him.
It was nice to see her level up in her 7th season.
Sparkle. 11th season.
Thanks for the sparkles.
Yeah, 7 seasons, and then we finally saw like, okay, she's not the kid anymore. That was cool. I liked that a lot.
I agree.
That was very on the nose for him to hit sparkles.
Yeah. Machu, you have a favorite moment?
Those two are really good. I'd have to say, it's a toss up between those two. I'm leaning more towards the Charles and Apocalypse scene.
Okay.
What about you?
So honestly, I think my favorite moment, favorite scene, favorite sequence would be the Nightcrawler arguing for everyone deserves a second chance. And for me, that hit hard on the old school nostalgia of the show, of like watching that show and learning about why
social issues,
why people are different, why it's okay that people are different. We're really giving him the sparkles.
I'm just leaving it there for now. Yeah.
So, but like to me, that was like one of those moments where it was like, oh yeah, that's the feeling I remember from that show, where it was like, okay. I'm
too young for this, but also I need to hear this at this age.
It's over my head, but it's registering somehow.
Yes.
And that was the thing too, where I like in watching the new show, my son has watched it with me, and now he's going back and watching the old show. And like I casually just bring it up, like, and what do you think about those guys that are chasing the mutants? And he's like, oh, they're bad. I was like, okay, good. All right, we're good here. Okay, so but yeah, that just really brought a lot back.
I know it was short-lived, not short-lived, but it was a very succinct showing in the show, but seeing and them just straight up acknowledging that Kurt and Colossus had been friends for as long as they had, and they weren't just like, hey, we need to show this in a bunch of episodes. They're like, yo, I've known you a really long time.
Yeah,
like we've been at this a really long time, man. Like, and it was just like, oh damn, like that was it was very familial. Like also Gambit's sweet apocalypse costume. Sorry,
you are in the minority on that one.
Oh, we switched over to lowlights.
I'd buy it today. I'm sorry, I would.
Toy Migo saying that X-Force intro was my favorite part of the season. That was really great. I enjoyed
That's
that
fair.
a lot. I think
And
The shock of it was the best part.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They
And
put
it
the
also-
work in on that.
It also pushed the story because it shows
Yep.
Jubilee training with Psylocke.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my favorite part of it.
Instead of seeing
That's probably the best episode overall for me too.
I think so too. Yeah, because like
Okay.
we kept seeing that Cable fighting Apocalypse clip on
Yep.
every
Yeah.
intro, and I was like, can't they just change this, please?
And then they
Give
did.
us something else.
Yeah.
All right. So Brandon, since you brought it up, you want to go to lowlights for you?
I guess I don't know. I'm between Gamb-Ocalypse and just how easily Rogue dispatched the biggest bad we've had in this entire timeline.
She already marked it.
Because it just like they didn't show her losing those powers either, right? Like,
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I'm
No,
sure
no.
she's not going to
Yeah,
have those
for-
forever.
No, she just
Yeah,
lost it.
she
just
lost
came-
it because it was right before we learned that Kurt died, right? Because she's like, wait, my deal was done. And
She
then
went back
looked
to
over.
normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't like. I don't know. That's what is it? Deus Ex Machina. What is it called when something just kind of comes out of nowhere? And like they've done that with the Phoenix a million times too. And I'm just never a fan of that. It doesn't feel like good storytelling to me. That you just do something very short term like that and have it pay off like that. Just I don't know. I would have been like. And I don't mean this in a it sounds more insulting than I mean it. But if we're dumbing down this show from like the style of storytelling from the first season to just more straightforward like the old show, I'm not even against that necessarily. But if we're doing that, that's kind of the wrong way to do it. Like that was just a little bit too, I don't know.
I mean, going along with
Celestial
that,
meter?
I
think that's how we should rate. We should rate episodes next year.
On the Celestial meter.
What do you give it on the celestial meter?
X Factor just like ready and willingly being like the mutant Gestapo.
Yeah.
Just being like,
Yeah.
cool. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah. And using Sentinels, even human-driven Sentinels, that just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel like most of those people would be on board with that.
Well, and because like Polaris and Forge left,
Mhm.
but even when we saw X Factor in the original series, like it was established that Havoc is Cyclops' brother. And it was established that he's going to do his job, but he saw it as a responsibility to mutants to make sure that they were safe.
Right.
Like that, like I feel like we need to see him like pulling little sinister earworms out of them.
Yeah.
Like next season or something, because
But
like all of them were just like, you guys are really into this. Like it's kind of creepy.
but it was established that he's his brother, but they don't know that, right? Like they
Right.
don't know.
They
that
don't
they're
No, a lot of
siblings
them
yet.
don't.
Yeah.
I think the core team knows.
I don't think so. I mean, unless that was established in a much later episode, I don't think they do, at least as of that X Factor episode, the Iceman one.
I thought at least some of the team knew.
No, they
I
just,
don't
like,
think
shoot
so.
each
I
other
think
and
they're
go,
kind of like,
"Oh."
hey, why aren't our powers affecting each other? But it has been a while since I've seen that episode. But
Okay. Interesting.
Pretty sure that.
I do think I'm gonna go back to Onslaught again. If we were doing the Onslaught thing, I can make sense of Onslaught manipulating X Factor
Mm-hmm.
to do to do things that are a little more, more untoward with mutants, maybe, just going overboard and trying to, safeguard them and all that sort of stuff. That I could have made sense of. I hope there's some sort of explanation because they didn't use the Mystique card that they could have used too. Like I could have seen a situation where, okay, Mystique has been Val Cooper this whole time.
Yeah.
Working for Apocalypse like she had been in the original show, getting young mutants for him to use for his army, something like that. I think they could have gone down that route and made it all make a little bit more sense. And maybe they still will. Maybe they'll still make sense of it, but it felt like we should have seen it by now if it was going to happen.
I'd like to also throw out, and yes, this is kind of a Maverick shill thing, but Kane and Maverick, who are supposed to be two like absolute like amazing mutant assassins, getting offed by a tree. And granted, Maverick went down from an alien possessed Wolverine, but like Kane just goes shoop and is a kebab. Like, and it's just like, oh. Well,
I maintain that Maverick's spot getting killed by Brood Wolverine should have been Garrison Kane. They should have not done the, Garrison Kane gets impaled by a tree at the beginning. The shock value just, I don't know. It felt like Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Like, why are we just doing the same thing again in a similar sort of team? It would have been, I think it would have been a lot more like, because frankly, more people like Maverick than Garrison Kane. I don't think anyone would have been shedding tears for him. And I don't know. It didn't feel like a fitting end for Maverick, because I'm a Maverick lover too. I get it. I'm with you on that.
I am curious though, because I feel like Kane and Maverick to an extent had a mild healing factor, or they were able to like heal quicker or something because of the experimentation.
I don't think that tree is mild.
The tree might be over the mild.
But like in Maverick's comic, he gets the legacy virus, and the whole thing is that he can't hold shit together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, because something stops, and it's like, all right. I mean, granted, he got gutted like a fish, which is the second time I've said that tonight.
Yeah. We're keeping track. Yeah. Matsu, you got a really grinds your gears moment?
I mean, that like the whole thing with Cable's Destiny thing was one, right? Like it changed from one season to another. A lot of the things that they've already said.
Yeah.
I don't think that Nightcrawler should have died.
Yeah.
And Gambit's death was a lot better in season 1. It meant more.
Well, yeah.
Just to go on that for a second. We have Graydon Creed gets elected president.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make more storytelling sense for Nightcrawler to be alive to see that, or dead? I think so too. I'm willing to listen to arguments to that.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're going to tell that story, it makes more sense with him alive than dead.
Into the God Loves Man Kills book. I mean, like that was the whole thing. Is there's a moment where he goes, "That's a demon," and points at Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
And Nightcrawler goes, "Oh."
I think Nightcrawler has a bigger role to play with the overall team dynamic with individual members over Gambit, because Gambit's always just been about Rogue.
Yeah,
right.
I'm curious if we'll get into it, like obviously I don't know shit, but there was a Amazing X-Men was a title that focused around the fact that Nightcrawler, Nightcrawler got his ultimate reward, right? He went up to heaven and he came back to save the X-Men, abandoning his soul in order to come back, like giving up the one thing that meant the most for him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be that heady when it comes to if they get around to it. But I could see them doing that in season 4 or 5, where they give it time to breathe. But
I can see 4 for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely see them bringing him back. So I just want to I agree with Brandon what you said, right? Like I do think having Nightcrawler witness the Creed's rise is a much more powerful moment, right? Because now you've got him again going back to wrestling with his faith and who he is at his core and all that stuff. However, and I just want to throw this out there, if you look at who went to the ship, right? You've got Nightcrawler, Beast, and Rogue. Rogue goes off, makes her deal. If you swap Beast for Nightcrawler, are you more okay with that? Are you more okay with Beast making that sacrifice? Before you guys answer, let's let Captain McKay join us and answer that question immediately.
Hey, dude.
Yeah. What's up?
If you had to kill one blue guy.
Yeah, you're first up on this.
Papa Smurf.
Maggot's already dead, right? Like he's we saw.
Yeah. No, Maggot's gone.
He's already on VHS too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Rough way to go. Oh man. So the question was like,
and everything.
Like at the end of the season, right? Like would I have swapped Beast and Nightcrawler?
Yes.
I don't know, because Nightcrawler being Rogue's brother makes it like feel a little heavier, I think. But I mean, Beast we've seen like the entire time through the original series and now 7 seasons worth, and Nightcrawler like was very scarce in that one, like the early show, and like he's he's only become a main character recently, so I don't know if the levity would hit the same way, but yeah, I don't know.
I think also one of this was a goofy thing again, because I love Hank from the comics, but the man of science and technology holding the Bible,
Yes. Oh, it's a
coming
great,
up,
it's
like,
a great image.
that was a heavy
Yeah.
moment in him mourning that, because he has him and Kurt have a very unique relationship in the comics because they come to science versus religion several times. So that was one of those moments where I was like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Even though they're both fuzzy blue mutants, yeah.
We also have Forge, just like how Detour even pointed out here.
Yeah. Well, so I was gonna go back to Detour's comments here. I don't know if Forge. I feel like Forge.
He does fill a similar role. I like Beast a lot,
Yeah.
actually, but I can see the argument there.
Yeah, I don't know if I would don't know if I would do a Forge Beast 1-to-1. Like, I think there's other things that Beast brings. Detour says, unceremonious deaths all season long. I don't want a resurrection story that rushes revival the same way they rushed the deaths. I don't know if the next season can recover from the weird pace. And we need an Excalibur episode. I'm all for, and agree with you. Again, I think it's something we've talked about too, whether it's like, yeah, you brought Gambit back. Did you let it breathe enough? I do think they leave Kurt gone at least another season. And by the way, Magneto's gone, right? We haven't seen Magneto come back, which, to my point of things that I did not like this season, outside of Sunspot's Raphael headband, is Magneto's death. It ultimately ends up being kind of pointless, right? Like, other than maybe bringing Polaris in, who again does end up doing nothing for the team towards the end of it. What did we do? Like, what did his death accomplish other than, like, I would say driving Professor Xavier further away from who he was, but it's not. Again, I don't think we saw a resurgence that it was worth it. So I would say that and X-Corp. X-Corp is the other thing that I absolutely hated this season. And by the way, again, something that was built up, and I always love to look at this from like a project manager standpoint, right? It's like, all right, sir, we've built up the X-Corp, we've built the building, we've got all your new jackets, and then it's like, well, we've stopped Apocalypse, so we don't need this anymore. Sure thing, sir, we'll just shut it all down. Like, just throw his money around.
Floors of nothing.
Right, yeah, they built that whole building in record time, by the way, right? Outfitted it, made the jackets, and then we're like,
the whole HR department.
The whole HR department, everybody got fired that day.
The merch wasn't selling well.
Yeah.
Well,
a couple of floors had holes in them too. By the time Cable was done, going like straight down through.
There were no floors.
Structural integrity we need to work on.
Yeah. I guess that's the cleanest part of X-Corp going away is that the building did get demolished in that battle. That's probably the only thing that makes it make any sense. Like, okay, why are we reverting back to which I prefer. I'm not criticizing the fact that we're going back to the mansion and everything. I like that, but it did feel like, why did we just lump this in the last 4 episodes of the season?
Unless Professor X knew all along what was going to happen, took out a large insurance policy. And that's why he continues to make his fortune.
Oh no! Please,
yeah.
This is the snap
Apocalypse.
Stop it! On plot. He's just an insurance fraud.
Yeah. That's how
please don't smash CereBRUH.
No. That's how he buys his next 97 jets.
That shield was just lights. It wasn't actually a shield at all. It was just hologram.
Deploy the LED. I mean EMP shield. Yeah. Batforce says Beast is one of the original X-Men. He has to stay. It felt like there was way too many storylines this season. Completely agree.
Grumps, I feel like if you had the option to remove Cyclops, you would.
Yes, he would. Yeah.
So you can't use that. He's one of the original X-Men lines.
Cable wrecked the cafeteria in the X-Corp building. Yes, you are, Josh, but that's okay. It's okay. You're still good. How was your other show, Josh?
Oh yeah, he was on Legends
I actually got to pop off because I got
no problem.
Stream.
Yeah. What do you think?
You want to catch the replay though? I am unboxing a X-Men '97 themed item later on. So swing on by. Sorry, but thanks guys.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Good to see you.
Bye.
See you.
Keep watching X-Men. Live long and prosper.
No, just go away.
That's the wrong shot.
Right. Bye, Dave.
Whoa! Oh no, it won't let me out.
I got you. I'll take care of it. No. Perhaps is another story plot insurance scam. Then Jay Jonah pops in as a farmer's rep. I too am late. It's okay, John. We're all hanging out here. Yes, I would. I am a psych fan. There you go. So it was a good time. Good. But you're right, not to. Okay, so
I mean, this season of Cyclops I would probably remove too.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like really didn't do much there, but
he did.
First season did so much good for him, and then the second season undid. a lot of it.
I think that can be said about
everybody,
the show in general. Yeah,
like the first,
yeah,
the previous season's Cyclops is what this season's Xavier like wishes it was, because where you actually see him be like a little more contentious to humanity and like growing as a kind of a more adversarial character and like stepping up his game powers wise and everything. But in this season, I think they wanted Xavier to kind of reflect similar things, but it just doesn't really deliver the same way.
No, I don't think it hit the same way. So McKay, before you jumped on, we talked about what we really liked and what we really disliked. So I want to give you a chance to answer that. What was your favorite thing from this season?
Man, I mean, IT Sabertooth notwithstanding, it got like it started really strong, like which is what makes it so much like more painful to watch, kind of like where it went. But like the first few episodes, like I think the first 3, like I was like into it, and even the 4th, you know, with the ending and everything, with Magneto dying, I was like, okay, wow, this has me. And then they just kind of fell off, in my opinion. But the start of the series seemed like it was really promising. The X-Force episode, I think, is probably the season's best, like almost by landslide, I would say.
That was episode 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess, you know, high points, that's that. Low points is like just basically undoing, well, not even undoing, but just like Fatal Attractions from the last season became completely inconsequential, because like in the comics it had so many like status quo changes, and in this it's almost like instantly resolved like within a few episodes, and there's no hint to Onslaught that I'm aware of. Wolverine is completely back to normal. Even Magneto like really suffered no long-lasting effects from, you know, that whole fight at the end of season 1. So like I was like, why did they do that, you know?
And there was like no interplay between Rogue and Magneto in those first couple episodes either, from what I remember. Like they were both in the past.
In the past,
and there was just no anything. Like I don't know what I wanted from that exactly, but it felt like there should have been something. Like there's something unresolved between those two.
No, I mean you had. I think that was replaced by the. I don't even. It wasn't even a romance though between Apocalypse and Rogue, right? Like that deep conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like if we didn't have that, you might have gotten the conversation with Magneto, but also like I don't know if Magneto has a like, and I hate to say it like this, has a play there, right? Like in that instance.
Well,
I think he's too focused on trying to, you know, shape Apocalypse out.
Yeah.
There's that, and I also feel like, you know, Rogue kind of got like, you know, she took a back seat to Charles.
Yeah.
You know,
as his love interest.
Yeah.
It could also be trying to play like Rogue and Magneto got their closure at the end of the Genosha episode.
True.
Like they, you know, she realizes she'd rather be with Gambit, and then, you know, plays out that Gambit doesn't find this out, and, you know, Genosha gets destroyed and everything.
Right.
Magneto's like, I'm just gonna go fuck with Apocalypse then.
Yeah, it's like, all right,
you don't want me.
Make you regret this. Like,
yeah.
That was Magneto's long game. They're gonna make you kill him later with your boyfriend's face.
Travel thousands of years in the past and really
can't even get away from you here. Yeah. No. I do think. Yep.
Now that I think about it, that was also left unresolved from last season's finale. Was like Charles was so pissed at what Wolverine did to what Magneto did to Wolverine, and yet it opened up like nothing really happened. I mean, I understand that, like, it's already been several months that they've been in the past, but like some kind of mention of them resolving that.
Well,
I mean, it was. I guess they did a little bit of that at the end of last season with him in the stormy waters in Magneto's mind.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of closed that loop a little bit. I agree. There should have been more tension between those two at the beginning of the season, considering, like, you know, what he did to Wolverine.
Yeah, I think it also becomes a refocus, right? Like, okay, well, I mean, you know, we can deal with this when we get back home. Right now, we have to figure out this problem, type of thing. So,
yeah.
I do love Detour's comment here. Rogue's post-nut clarity hit hard. Good night, everybody. Yeah. But Brandon, I do think that you said this last episode we talked, and I do want to talk about this. You are hopeful for season 3. You didn't lose all hope at the end of this season.
It kind of goes back to something Detour said a couple minutes ago. I don't know if season 3 can well, I can't remember how we worded it, but like the pace is just forever screwed up. I don't think it is. Like, I feel like what it really reads to is like the new showrunner didn't really, I don't know anything. This is just wild speculation. It feels like he didn't like the things that were set up at the end of season 1. Didn't really have any interest in telling those stories. Wolverine with the bone claws, Onslaught, Age of Apocalypse, etc. Doesn't feel like he had any interest in that. I disagree. I think that would have been a lot better, but fine. It seems like he kind of cleared the deck. We're starting fresh with season 3 with his vision. You know what I mean? Like, and if it's, I think part of the problem is that the first season, not problem, that's not the right word, but the first season, if you watch the first 4 episodes, it felt like the original show.
Yeah.
I think in a good way. And then the 5th episode happened and everyone felt this shift like, oh shit, this is grown up. Like this is, this aged with us. This isn't still aimed at kids. You know, like literally I could watch those first 4 episodes with my then 4-year-old without much problem. 5th episode, no, you're not watching that for a couple of years. Like that's kind of where I was at with that. So something changed with 5. And I think most people would have been fine with, okay, let's continue the nostalgia sort of like, as long as it's well done, then like we're trying to make a show like the original. I think most people would have been okay with that. But the thing is, they had that shift with season 5 and it became a different type of storytelling that set expectations sky high. That wasn't going to be sustainable with a change in showrunner. That's what it feels like. Whatever his personal failings are, Bo DeMaio, I think, just has a different mind than I think most of these people in these writer rooms have.
He was tapped into X-Men. Yeah.
He was just tapped into it. He loved it. He got it. He was taking the right things from the comics. He was not just aping what the comics had done. That's not what I'm interested in. I think I mentioned last week, remix things that have happened. And I'm fully on board with it. You can tell new stories too. But like you gotta see it in some stuff that's worked in the comics. And you gotta change things around, change the order of things. Just take a little flavor from the comics. The comics have been around for so long. There's so much good stuff in there. There's plenty of bad stuff too. But so it feels like if season 3 wants to return to the first 4 episodes of season 1 and the storytelling from the first show, that's kind of what we got with Danger. That's kind of what we got with the Colossus episode. Like and even the Weapon X episode's not my favorite, but that was somewhat self-contained also. It feels like this, it's not a monster of the week necessarily. There's still sort of an overarching thing, but it's more self-contained. It's more, because like season 2, I'm going to watch more like, oh, I feel like watching this single Danger episode, as opposed to when I watch season 1, I'm going to want to watch that start to finish. You know? So I think there's hope. I'm not saying I'm sure it's going to be good, but I can go into season 3 with an open mind saying, okay, let's see what you got, basically.
Yeah. And Josh reminds us that rebellions are built on hope. So good work there. And BTD says overall enjoyed it. Definitely rushed. Yes, totally agree. Rushed. I tend to agree with you. I think a lot of good that could be taken out of this. I think a lot of cool moments, a lot of cool story arcs in there. Maybe not episodes as a whole. Not as strong as season 1. I always go back to something we used to say in college, right? Every bad episode of Buffy is still better than half the stuff that's on TV right now. So I kind of look at it that way, where it's like what a privilege it is to be complaining about new X-Men show. But yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen if you take away the people side of it and just think of it from a showrunner aspect. Yes, I don't want to get into the politics of the producers and stuff behind it, but if you look at it as, okay, showrunner has to finish the storyline before he can start, before she can start, they can start the next thing. This is a tough go. So yes, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Definitely disappointed we didn't get what was originally planned. Agree that Bo, I think, had definitely tapped in, and again, not talking politics, not talking personal preference. Bo was absolutely tapped into the X-Men universe in a way that some of these other people are not. But I am curious to see where it's going to go. And I think there's some loose ends that maybe will get wrapped up, some that we'll never see the end of. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Mystique. I like that kind of hanging Chad, so to speak, at the end there. While we're talking elections, to see where that could go. and how we're gonna tie that in. So, McKay, Machu.
I'm hopeful for season 3.
Okay.
A little bit hopeful. Yeah.
Like this, at the very least, season 3 hopefully will not be as disjointed as season 2, because season 2 definitely felt like the studio interference season, where it's like you're trying to go back and overcorrect something out of, I don't know, out of spite or whatever for the previous showrunner, but you're using like so many of his ideas. Would it have really broken you too badly to just see his vision through and then cut your ties? Like, I don't know, but season 3 will at least be consistent, hopefully, with the same team, the same people working on it. And, like you were saying, I'm just happy that these exist, because it's like, if I had heard a couple of years ago that they were going to reboot a sequel series to the X-Men that I used to watch, I would have been like, you're out of your mind. No, they're not. Like,
it's impossible to imagine 5 years ago.
With the same cast,
with the same voice actors, same animation style.
Yeah, like it's a very, seamless transition, and like it worked really well. And if I'm comparing this to the previous series from the 90s, like some of those episodes were not great, and some of these are not great, but they all have their place. So I'm ready for season 3.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Cool. I think we talked about kind of ratings last week, so I guess let's do this as we kind of wrap up here. Single word piece of advice that you would give for those working on season 3 right now, even though they're probably completed with season.
They're working on season 4 right now.
I know. I just said even though they probably aren't working. Like, single word piece of advice. I'm going to start with slow down. And I'm doing that as a conjoined word. Just let it breathe. Let it breathe with my piece of advice.
I feel like I'd say potential. Like, just don't squander the potential.
Okay.
Like, if you have a good story, like if you have just even Nightcrawler being off the board with Creed, that's potential. That was like, it's right there. It's him having to reckon with I stopped Graydon Creed from being assassinated, basically, and I caused this, and grappling with that. That's perfect. That's so rich for storytelling. It doesn't have to. That's not a complex story to tell.
No.
So it's just like don't burn out these like really good story ideas just to have one single episode arcs, basically.
Okay, Ashu.
Let it marinate, like
Marinate.
Kind of like what you said, like slow down, just let it,
Let
take
it
it
marinate.
grumps. Yep.
Do it for the future.
That's kind of my thinking too. Like, just breathe. Like, give people a moment to like let things sink in before you move on to 5 other things that, like, by the time the audience catches up to you, you've already like blown through like 10 story beats, and it leaves people wondering kind of like what happened and why. Not, not like seeing the logic in it.
Yeah. Agreed. Wasting material. Agreed.
That's it. It's antithetical to what they should be doing. They're talking, and I don't know if it'll actually get to 10 seasons. They're floating that idea of going 10 seasons with this, but then they're burning multiple storylines in a single episode. Like, even if you're trying to clear the board, there's so many things I wouldn't have done if that was the case, from that season.
Yeah. No, I agree. But at this pace, Age of Apocalypse will be half an episode, and then we'll be moving on. So, add the original logo, X-Men logo, electric surge sound effect back into the intro. That is what Detour is focused on. So,
I agree.
Actually, I think we should do that for ours. Let's make sure we get that back in there.
I'll just take it from the old one.
Yeah. So we'll just put it back into ours. So awesome. Let's see. Grubbs comes in here. I wonder if they tried to squeeze a lot in because they weren't sure. Yeah, it's all speculation, man. But either way, they need to slow down. So, McKay, Brandon, where last words, kind of final plugs. What do you guys got?
All right.
I love this.
I do. I'm on Instagram, Captain McKay. I'm doing a lot of stop motion stuff. X-Men 97 has really been very helpful for getting my stuff into a better algorithm, I suppose, because IT Sabertooth is, still getting views and comments as well as some of the other ones I'm doing. So
that's why he's a thumbnail.
That's it.
It's perfect. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's great. That's the legacy of season 2 of X-Men 97. But yeah, that's where I'm at. You can find me over there.
Cool. Brandon?
Yeah, no matter what, I'm thankful for all the toys we're going to get.
Can't wait.
So I'm at Posable Productions on Instagram and Batman the Articulated Series on Instagram. Something I'm going to be doing in October. I do sort of like an Inktober, October kind of thing called The Long Halloween. I'll be unveiling a prompt list probably September 1st. I do basically a single word theme. It's Battober. Like Chris Samney used to do something called Battober. He stopped doing that a couple years ago, so I kind of picked up the mantle and started doing the Long Halloween. So that'll be starting October 1st. A post every day based off of a single word prompt.
Perfect. Love that. Machu, what do you got going on this week?
Nothing really.
No?
We got Between Two Sentinels on Wednesday, Chat Amigos tomorrow. They're Not Dolls on Thursday. Anything?
Posable?
I was on Barely Posable yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Might be on this coming Sunday. I'm not sure yet. What about you?
Way, check the replay. Yeah, same thing. Tuesdays, Chat Amigos Assemble. Wednesdays, Between Two Sentinels. May have a guest, may not. Locking it down. We'll see what happens. Thursday, No Chewing. Alan Rappa and I have a show called Baggy Red Shorts, a Disney fan podcast. So if you're into Disney, go check that out. And then They're Not Dolls Thursday night. So, but yeah, that's it. Jets, thanks for being here. Dave Wonder, thanks for being here. He's gone, but not forgotten.
Not forgotten, yeah.
Make sure you follow all of Brandon's accounts. I'm 4 for 4, baby. There you go.
All right, let me throw in the other two then, since somebody else brought it up. Spider-Verse Articulated, that's pretty new. And then X-Men _ the Articulated Series also on Instagram. Right. Thank you.
There you go. And Mikhail, don't forget you got your Patreon too.
I do have Patreon. Yes, I forget. Patreon. I forget that I have that. Yeah. It's also just Captain McKay. So I'm pretty much Captain McKay random on YouTube, but everything else is just Captain McKay. You can find me all over the place. You can't get away from me.
Man knows his branding. So there you go. Other than that, thank you guys for being here. And whether you're watching live or on the replay, we appreciate the hell out of you. We wouldn't be here doing this or the Wednesday show or going to Comic-Cons without you guys. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. You guys are the ones that make this all happen. So with that, go make some content. Go be proud of yourself. And we'll see you next time on Previously on X-Men. Who knows when it's going to be. So stay tuned. Bye, everybody. Good night.
See ya.